What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Jake and I primarily do videos on HVAC related topics, service calls, business shit, tools, blue collar lifestyle, anything that's incorporated inside of that whole niche, as they would say. Today, heading to a service call in which we actually royally fucked up. What ended up happening here is a couple years ago, a technician came out here and serviced the equipment, found it was completely low on refrigerant, found the leak was in the evaporator coil, so we sent them a quote for that. And at that point, the customer decided to go ahead and get a second opinion, and the next company recommended a system replacement, so they asked us for apples to apples comparison. So what we did is sent them a quote. The problem is we sent them the wrong size, and by sending them the wrong size, the unit was too small, and you guys know that's not good. So they ran for about a year and a half with a unit that was a ton too small for their space. And we had technicians go out here multiple times to try to resolve an issue and remedy it. Was never able to actually get the system to perform the way it should. So what this customer did, they ended up calling out another company, and that company came out and told them that the system was way too small for the house. Looking back at it, and it was precisely that. They actually sent the picture of the data plate of the old unit because for whatever reason, the previous technician that was here that had sold the equipment didn't have it uploaded into our business software. So what we were able to do is realize that instead of a 3.5 ton, put in a 2.5 ton system. And with that being said, what we did to actually fix that problem for the customer is we ate that cost. They just paid the difference on the unit. So to go from that 2.5 to the 3.5, they just paid that difference. So we ate the labor. We had subcontractors do this job, and now we're here. This unit hasn't worked in 3 days. I don't know why, personally, why we're just now getting out here. But it's also been mild temperatures. So I'm here now pulling up. I'm hoping it's simply just a drain line and we don't have to worry about anything else. So let's go see what's going on. Yeah, the compressor definitely is not running. Protect your knees. All right. Another issue here is apparently after the new install, the drain line kept backing up and they got a bunch of water damage. So all in all, the customer experience here has not been the best. Bruh. Let's document that. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's verify. Power's off. I would just say yes because it did shut down. Voltage dead. Check the ground. Alright, deader or deader. Just get a scared the shit out of me. Oh man. Well, what I'll do, again, I'm just gonna, while I'm here, check the capacitor. I might even just replace it, just because that terminal you can see the terminal on that is a little burnt up, so 45 fiber. I mean, it's testing fine. It is fine. I'm still just gonna go ahead and replace it. Let's make sure there's no loose connections inside of here. Oh, she's getting tight. Well, that's a good old script. Alright, let's go grab our terminal fittings and a new capacitor. My little Knipex sustainer. $40. Oh my gosh. 45 fiber. Alright. We'll put a nice little insulated crimped connection on there. Twist them up. Good and tight, just barely getting through there. Yeah. Nice and tight. I mentioned this before. The one thing I do like about these Goodmans though, it's just this little added touch of this little bracket right here, where they just give you the space that you need if you're gonna put in different sizes. It's really nice because it's gonna be a different size. Nothing crazy. Boom. 11, 3, 1, 2, 5. Okay, and you can clearly see that there, but I'll just go with we'll write this here again. 45 plus 5. I'll put my marker back in the side of my bag. So, always like to just give the crimps a nice little pinch. Red, as you can see, is coming off of one of our legs on the contactor, so that's one that's going to be our common. We'll put that on there. Fan is the other side, or purple for, I've got a little ladybug on there. Purple is the other side of the fan motor, but Goodman likes to put them on there. Our other brown here is for the fan, which is generally speaking the 2-prong over here. Your common is the 4, and then your 3-banger there is going to be for your compressor. Like I said, so we've got a nice new terminal connection there. And then what we can do is I'm gonna just, alright, that's plenty, that's good. You know, the one terrible thing with these Goodmans though is they got these stinking the way those wires just rub out right there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just gonna take this top off real quick. That way I can go ahead and flip those over, make sure nothing's getting burnt up. Yeah, see? It can like definitely just like rub out right on there. And there's no good place to do it, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of like trapeze a zip tie here to here to keep it kind of up and out the way. The compressor's hot, boy. I'm sure it is. Okay. Careful. Just check our compressor real quick. Nothing was tripped, but we can still ohm this out since we're here. They're all closed. Now you're just being a jerk. Something else they've done down there. This piece is just nice and insulated. There's no sensors or anything in there. So now these rubbers will be tight there. But let's tighten that up a little bit. That way they're not so loose. So that's good. That could have been something. And then we'll get something. And just like I said, kind of trapeze it. These things always tend to rub against each other too. Let's go get some zippies. Alright, where's my drill? Put my drill right here. Stop this sucker from spinning so it doesn't just knock me in the head. My flush cuts. You know, really going back to the start and why this job had became a problem for us is we didn't properly document it. We weren't using the right business software at the time to upload photos and videos, so we weren't precisely getting the equipment that we needed, which all in all should have never happened. To begin with, we should have ran the load calc and properly installed it, but that's where stuff like Jobber comes into play. We could take a picture, and that's why if you guys ever watch me, I'm literally taking pictures of these, everything whatsoever. I take pictures of the capacitor, data plates, everything. That way, in the future, we don't run across these problems. And I don't want to deal with these problems. And no business owner wants to. So that's why Jobber comes in clutch. Having a business software like Jobber will save your ass on numerous occasions. Ask me how I know. If you guys want to protect your business, CYA, go ahead and click the link down below. You'll get a 14-day free trial. Just test it out for yourselves for shits and giggles. Even if you're not a business owner and say you do jobs on the side, be careful, first of all. But secondly, always document everything. Put that stuff right in the Jobber. That way you have everything saved and they can't come back on you. On this one, we didn't, so that's why we ate cost. But like I said, Jobber will cover your ass, document everything. That way things like this don't happen. So these are all tight. Got this kind of trapezed. It should be okay. I don't want to rub it up against here. I should have some insulation, but I don't carry armor flex, but that would be a good idea. We can put some armor flex there. Down here, these wires going into the compressor in the crankcase heater were a little loose hanging down there, so I zip tied those also. But I will say again, with this redesign on these Goodmans, they've made it a whole heck of a lot easier to be able to accessibly work on these without it being such a pain in the butt. Like I said, document that. What I want to do now, I want to see what my compressor amps are rated for 19.4 and my lock rotors are 127. So these are enough room here. And this being a 4-ton with this 480 here, you got to hit the select to get to your amps. You'll hit your inrush. The decimal point is down here in the middle where we're dealing with a larger system. So we're going to move that decimal point over one just by hitting that inrush. And I don't know. It is calling, so. All right, so we can go ahead and we're below right there. We're at 126. Udamus. Now we go find our common on our compressor here, which is this black. And it's, so we're right there. It's running good. I'm gonna check my pressures. It's 75 in there, like I said. And I'll put locking caps. These are the only two. There should be a third one somewhere. Just not sure. Go ahead and just check these real quick. Data's gonna be a little skewed on these. Let's see if she can. Alright. You know what's funny is people don't think there's much of a difference between, like, the pressures may not be different, but this is an R32 system, and it is very important that you have the right gauges and everything to check, because watch this, 410, 46 windy saturation, 454. Look at the difference. If you're doing a 454 system, it'll be 51 degrees on the saturation versus 46. That's a big difference. R32, relatively the same, but always make sure you're in the right setting for your system. We'll take a screenshot of that. This is just fucking ugly. Who did this fucking job? That doesn't even. Look at that. It's hard to skew, because also right now it's 74 outside, 74 up there. I really want to come back and check over the system operation, just to ensure we don't have any other issues going forward. I'm gonna go hop in the attic, inspect all that to make sure there's nothing up there that's out of the ordinary. Obviously, because if we have negative superheat coming back to the system, that's no good for that compressor. That could definitely be a reason why that kind of heated up like that. But you know, we got the problem resolved. Just looking at things, I'm not happy with the quality here, but I'm gonna go up there, check that out, just to see if there's anything else going on. I decided I wanted to utilize this other pocket here for some other things. So that's what I wanted. Look at, come on, dude. I'll get a screw on that. So I've been putting my temperature probes over there on that side, and still putting my pressure probes right here. It's just, I'm not satisfied with this, man. You know, when you have higher standards or higher expectations, and those standards aren't always met between everybody, you know, it kind of makes you just kind of question it. The system totally could be low. It is R32, goes up 20 feet in the Krauss, so, you know, maybe they're, I don't know. Let me stop rambling. And the caps are left. I'm gonna get a screw. I'm gonna get another cap here on our true suction side. Leave that there for a sec. We'll take our sustainer back. But they're gonna be happy campers. Fortunately, the temperatures have been mid-70s during the day, with lower temperatures obviously in the evening.
I want to make sure I get the one that has the right locking mechanism, because a lot of these are, you got to use the stinking service wrench to get. So I want to make sure we have the same one, that way we don't got to use two different tools. Easy as that, guys. Small stuff. Like, take your trash. Alright. Alright, so we're wrapping that job up. What I like to do is at least just get off the street, out of their driveway. I don't like being the guy that sits there and is doing all their paperwork. So I just back out, go down to another block here, pull over to the side. I go in a jobber. I do talk to text. Sometimes it's not the cleanest, but somebody at the office generally cleans it up because they get the general idea, or they probably just throw it in chat or something. But what I'm gonna do here now is, since I document everything from start to finish, essentially with photos, you can definitely do videos if it's more prevalent, but with this customer particularly, I don't want any issues because they've had so many, and they always do want to ask, hey, what caused that? I did tell them probably some sort of storm surge or some power issue, and they said, huh, interesting, our power has had issues recently and they're having an electrician come out this week. So that definitely isn't something that falls on us directly. Being that customer didn't have the most optimal experience, we do just want to treat them the same way we treat every customer, and that's with the best professional experience that we can provide. So fortunately, it wasn't anything directly correlated to what we did. Basically, for me, everything kind of just looks really, it's cosmetic for me. I kind of am a stickler for the way things should look. But I'm satisfied that we were able to get them running, get them cooling again, that they don't have any issues. They have a little new baby in there and 3 little kids. So I enjoy it. But guys, again, document, cover your ass, use Jobber, use something that's gonna easily track all your data for you, all your customer calls. That way, if anything does come up like this, you can just send them everything directly, and you know, hey, I sent you all the photos from the previous visit. I noted everything, and that's why I like to pull over at the end of the job while it's all fresh, write it all in there. That way, again, CYA, and the customer has a better experience all in all. So click the link down below, get a 14-day free trial. With that being said, if y'all could smash the like button, consider subscribing. All my subscribers, y'all already know, I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Later.